Well, here we are. So this will be a test. We'll find out if this works. Having some technical issues. I guess this is growing pains. What I'm going to do right now is test if this stream is actually even working. So let's find out. Oh, can I? Oh, I need to change that. Let's see if I can set it from private to public. Done. Okay. Okay, let's see if that changes things. Now I should be able to go to my channel. And
hi.
Great. Aha. Try that. And see if I can get this to come up on another device. Naturally. Okay. So people can see me. I hope. Actually, I hope no one. Oh, wow. Caden. Hi. So people can see me. I hope. Actually, I hope no one. Oh, wow. Caden. Hi. So people can see me. I hope. Actually, I hope no one. Okay. Hi, Caden. This is a test. I'm still having some computer glitches here right now, so give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn off my video the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to go check on my other computer and see how things are working. All right. Hey, Caden, since you're here, what questions do you have for me about Ukraine? You can say anything you want. Oh, maybe he left. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh, how long has the war been going on? It started in February of 2022, so it's a year and a half, which is a long time, to be perfectly honest, a stupidly long time. What were you doing a year and a half ago? You know, it's kind of crazy to think about. Really. I certainly wasn't thinking about the war or any of that. You know, I was here teaching English and doing stuff here in Ukraine. Yeah. I was teaching in schools, you know? So, a lot of us, we just didn't believe that this war was ever going to happen, you know? I mean, who would be stupid enough in the 21st century to try and, you know, take over a country as big as Ukraine? You have to remember, Ukraine is about the same size as California. And before the war, it had about the same number of people. More or less. Here, I'm going to go to one of my favorite Ukrainian newspapers. lb.ua. If you want to find out about what's going on in the war, I mean, I know you probably don't like to read newspapers very much, but I recommend going to some Ukrainian newspapers, and lb.ua is one you can go to. They have the news in English, and you can find out all kinds of things about Ukraine every day. There's also the Kiev Independent that I like to use. Yeah, they're pretty good. There's also Ukrainian Inform. That's another good one. I like to use them a lot. So, do you know about the kidnapped and stolen children? A lot of people in America don't know about this, but Russia has kidnapped or stolen almost a million Ukrainian children. Stolen them from their parents and taken them somewhere in Russia, somewhere deep in Siberia. We don't know where they took them. They took them away from their parents. Here, let's see. Russia kidnaps Ukraine children. So here, there's a Wikipedia about it here. And we're not even sure how many. Russia is very proud of this. And they actually say, right here, Russian authorities have claimed over 700,000 Ukrainian children have been evacuated. That's their word for it, yeah. And what they do is they take them away from their parents. They tell them that their parents don't love them anymore, and that they are no longer Ukrainian, that now they're Russian. And they make them sing, Russian songs. Ukraine children in Russia. We can even see videos about it because it's pretty well documented. So this is here's one here's one on Vice News. So here's okay, as soon as we get past, there we go. So this is in October of 2022. This is Russians stealing Ukrainian children. They're loading them on buses and taking them into Russia. And nobody knows what happened to these kids. And those people are not these children's parents. Yeah? So these mothers here, are these women carrying the babies, those are not the mothers of the children. They're taking them off to Russia. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this is like, it's crazy that this is happening in in our time. Here, I want to show you some things. Check this out. So this is I think it's an American military uniform. I have, sitting in a suitcase next to me, a bunch of military uniforms from pretty much like all over the world. That one. This one is from Czechoslovakia. Yeah. You can see, they're on the arm, Czechia. It's a very small country in Europe. Yeah, Czechia. These are all, so I'm in a small city, 15,000 people maybe, that's right on the border, on the Ukraine side of the border with Hungary in Europe. So Hungary's a country in Europe. And there's a lot of second-hand stores here. There's like 4 or 5 second-hand shops here in this town. And they sell second-hand, clothes by the kilogram. So for 1 kilo, you just pick up some clothes, and there's a lot of different clothes, but some of them are, like, for instance, this is, I don't know what country this is from, but these are military rain pants. So they are like waterproof pants. So the idea here is, when I'm in, because I am going to go to war, of course, and I don't know what kind of gear they're going to give me. And I know one thing that they don't always give you is things to protect you from the rain. And it rains a lot here in Ukraine. A lot. So I'm buying these at like incredibly cheap prices. And what I want to do is, here's a shirt, camouflage shirt. Now they will give me when I go back to the, army. When I go back to the Ukrainian Legion, they will give me a uniform, but it's just one. They give you one change of clothes. So it's good to have more than one, but what I want to do, so here's another pair of, I don't know what even, I think this is British Army. I'm really not sure. So what I want to do is, I could be buying this. There's lots of other soldiers who need these uniforms, and I can buy them so cheaply. Like, literally, for example, this jacket, army green jacket, I think this cost me less than $1. All of this stuff is like, I mean, the most you could spend for like a heavy winter, only $1. The most you could spend for like a heavy winter military coat would maximum be like $10, like max, So these are heavy duty. They're not camouflage, but they are military grade pants, basically. And I've got a huge pile, and this is only half, So what I want to do is, this is actually more than I need. So I want to take these and put them on my website, on the Shopify that I set up. And then every week I'll just go to these secondhand shops, and if people want to donate, if they just want to donate $1, well, I can buy, and then I will mail these to the Foreign Legion here, to the office of my commander, because there's always new soldiers coming in who, they come from all over the world, and sometimes, I mean, when I was in the Legion, when I was in the barracks, I brought with me a bunch of these kind of clothes. I gave away 5 pairs of pants to people who came from other countries and didn't have military pants, and I gave them away because I knew that I could get them cheap. So I'd like to buy a whole bunch of them, put them in a box, and send them off. So I'm going to put that on my Shopify website so that people can do that. It'll be interesting. I want to just show you some important things that are happening right now in Ukraine. Oh, what time? It is 3 p.m. 3:19 exactly. Yeah, so middle of the afternoon. So in America, that means it's like early morning for you. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Later on today, I will be doing an interview with... Oh yeah, early morning, that's what I thought. So later on today, I will be doing an interview with one of the people who I served with, who fought in... I'm not sure where he fought. I'm going to find out. But I'm going to do this interview. He is now back in America, and he wants to come back to Ukraine. So he had to go. He fought in Ukraine. So he came from America, and he got some training. He fought in Ukraine, and then he had to go back to America for some reason. I don't know why yet. And then he wants to come back to Ukraine, but he doesn't have enough money for a plane ticket to come back and fight. So I'm going to do an interview with him and maybe set up like a GoFundMe or something like that to help him be able to come back and fight. So it's very interesting. I thought he was dead. Yeah. I thought he, like the last time I saw him, he was going off to fight, and I really thought it was the last time that I was going to see him again. And then he messaged me on Signal, and it was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Holy crap, you're still alive?" Because I really thought that it was the last time I was going to see him. So it'll be nice to see him again, But a really important thing here. I'm going to bring up Google Maps since you're watching this, and I want to show you this is where I am. This little city here called Beregova, and it's right on the border with Hungary. So that it's far, far in the western part of Ukraine. I've been going back and forth between here and the middle of Ukraine, where I usually live. So just to give you a sense of, like, that's Ukraine there. And again, it's, like I said, it's about the size of California. So it's a pretty big place. Right now, there's a big fight happening down here along this river. This is a big river. It's not as big as the Mississippi, but it's kind of like the it's people don't realize how big Ukraine is. People don't realize. It's, compared to, here, let's see. There's a website where you can compare the size of countries on a map. Yeah, true size of. Pretty interesting. Okay, how do I close this? Go away. Okay. Yes, I know. Right. Do I have to watch this? I don't want to watch this. That's dumb. Okay. True size of Ukraine. Okay. There we go. Let's see. How can we get rid of this? Stupid. All right. I'm going to use a different page then. Here we go. Country size comparison. Fine. Let's do that. Ukraine compared to United States. There we go. Right. Okay. So you can kind of see here if you put, like if you imagine Wisconsin and Minnesota right there. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Right? So you can kind of see like Wisconsin and Minnesota and maybe like North Dakota. That's kind of what the size of Ukraine is. So those 3 states all together. Anyway, so, sorry, that was boring. So down here, there's this big river called the Dnipro. And there's this massive, as you can see, this lake. Massive dam. Last summer, the Russians blew up the dam on this river. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty big. The lake is pretty damn big. It's really big. But it's not very deep. It's kind of shallow. So there was a dam here, and the Russians stupidly, let's see, Nova Kakhovka Dam, yeah. I'll show you some images. So the Russians blew it up, as you can see from these pictures here. That's a war crime to blow up a dam. And the entire lake drained. So all of this water that you see here, all of this water here is now gone, About 20 million cubic meters, I think is what I read. I don't know how that compares to like Lake Superior or something, but it's pretty damn big. And so this entire lake is now gone, and let's see, it's Kakhovka Lake, I think it's called, and it's all dry now, and thousands of people died because they got drowned. Kakhovka Lake water level. So now, as you can see from these pictures, it's basically like completely dry, and so it's like that now. That used to be a lake, and now it's a desert. Anyway, what's happening right now, though, is what's important is that this river was a barrier. So the Russians control this side of the southern side of the river. Yeah. So if we look at Ukraine war map, we can go to, oh boy, we could go to deep state maps. That's fine. So here we can take a look at Ukraine, and the whole, all this red stuff on the bottom, that's all what the Russians took control over. They took over that whole area. Well, what's happening now is the Ukrainians have crossed the river right here. And in this area right here, they are fighting the Russians and taking back this land. I know people who are there, who are fighting, and it's not easy. It's like World War I and World War II together. So, yeah. What questions do you have for me, Caden? By the way, thank you for getting up so damned early in the morning. I'm shocked that you're up at 7:30 in the morning to watch me. Oh, hi, Harper. Hi. Wow, it's the whole family. I'm good. I hurt my arm in training. I dislocated my wrist. I seem to remember one of you guys, maybe it was Harper. You guys have been injured the last couple years, I know. I've been watching you guys on Facebook. So I dislocated my wrist, and it was so bad that I was in training, and I was I was trying to I was trying to get better, and I was making it worse because I was exercising more and more and more, and it got so bad I couldn't even pick up a gun, with this hand. And it was just incredibly painful. And so I said, okay, well, I got to go see a doctor. And they said, yeah, you need to go home, and you need to, let this heal. And it's taken a long, long time. I had to get an injection, like a needle, put into my wrist in between the bones. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. But they injected me with some kind of medicine or something. And this, it's made it better, but I still have to be really careful. So I'm doing exercises every day and slowly restoring my ability. And hopefully by I'm hoping by Christmas or New Year's to be healthy enough to be able to go back, or very soon thereafter. Certainly in the month of January, to be able to go back. to fight. So we'll see. I mean, it's going to happen. I just have to be very careful that I do not injure this again, basically. That's all. So, yeah. We'll see. Maybe I will. I literally almost every time I exercise, I feel just a little tiny bit of pain, and then I have to stop. And then I pull back, and I'm like, okay, that's enough, you know. So if I feel just, you know, so I have to be very careful what I can carry and what I can lift, and yeah. So yeah. Other than that, you know, I'm doing great. It did hurt. It certainly hurt. But yeah, now, you know, I mean, I just made hamburgers today. You know, I have everything I need here. I'm working. I teach English here. That's what I do during the day. And trying to get this YouTube thing figured out. It's it's not easy to learn. I'm always having problems. Yeah. But teaching English here, I feel like, is a really important thing. Oh, hey, Jenna. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, if you look on this map, if you look on this map, Jenna, every red X here on the map is somewhere that there has been fighting or explosions of some kind. And so it's very active. I can tell you, you know, I have friends who've died already, you know, on their first mission. And it's quite serious. There's no joke. I'm right now, of course, I'm very far away from the fighting. I'm all the way over here, like literally on the other side of the mountains from it. Tomorrow I will be traveling to Cherkasy Oblast to visit my wife's family there, and it's kind of our second home, I guess. So Cherkasy Oblast is, if you can see on the map here, it's right in the middle of Ukraine, like right there in the middle. And ironically, in some ways, at the start of the war, and even now, in many ways, it's actually the safest area, safest place to be in Ukraine. The Russians are constantly sending missiles into the west of the country, you know, and towards Kyiv, and then, of course, near where you see the red on the map, there's always missiles coming there. But right in the center, in the middle, there's not much. It's pretty safe. There were some times where we were a little bit worried, but, you know, not anymore. So, yeah, as long as America keeps sending guns and bullets and missiles here, we'll that's what's keeping me alive at this point. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I wasn't expecting to have an audience today. I literally barely got this thing running. I wasn't sure if this was going to work at all. Yes, it is. The International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine. So, let's see if I can find the website for it. I think it's here. No, that's not it. Okay. That's not what I want. International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine. Here we go. Yeah. That's... yeah, it worked. I'm surprised that I was able to get it work. It didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to. There's still some bugs to work out, but yeah. So this is the website for the International Legion. It's kind of like, like the Foreign Legion. Like France has a Foreign Legion. There's some other countries that have a Foreign Legion, and it's a little bit, how do I say this? A little bit disorganized. I mean, it was started on like just a few days after the war started, and the president, President Zelensky announced this International Legion, and a lot of people came in the first months of the war. That's a good question. The guns that we have come from the Ukrainian government. But a lot of those guns actually, I think, are actually originating from the United States. Everything outside of the physical guns that we have, those are all donations. All donations from charities, from private donors, from non-governmental organizations, NGOs, as they're called. So the rest of the Ukrainian army gets their supplies and materials from the Ukrainian government. And I mean, and this is right. And another thing I should say is, once the fighting starts, and when we go off to join like individual units within the Legion, or sometimes get sent out to join other parts of the Ukrainian military, then we'll get supplied with stuff from those units. But when you're first in the Legion and you're just come out of training, or you first start training, everything that you get is donation. Everything is donation. So that's why it's so important. I showed this to my my fellow Legionnaires, the website. I mean, which I should probably show. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Let's see if I can go to my... Yeah, that's it. There we go. So when I showed my fellow Legionnaires this website, they were like really excited about it, because there's no groups out there that I've seen that are strictly dedicated to helping the Legion. There's charity groups that help, all of Ukrainians, and all of, they'll help anyone. I want this to, when you purchase something on here, it's only going to go to the Legion. If you want to contribute to the rest of Ukraine, that's great. It's fantastic. But this website is dedicated to one purpose, and that is the Legion. My feeling on that is that I want people from other countries to be more interested in what's going on here. And if you have no connection to Ukraine, then you're not going to be very interested in it. So, but I know for a fact I met people in the Legion from Peru, from Brazil, from Korea, South Korea, from Japan, and I've been contacted by people all over the world who want to join the Legion. And the regular people in those countries don't know that these people are helping. Don't know that people from their own countries are fighting in Ukraine for freedom, for their own freedom, for the freedom of the whole world. That reminds me, just in case anyone else decides to watch this live stream, I plan to host a live stream for people who want to join the Legion. So there's been a whole bunch of ton of people contacting me from countries all over the world saying, I want to join the Legion. And they want to learn how, and they want information. And I mean, the real answer is very simple. You just contact the closest Ukrainian embassy to you, even if it's in another country. That's the short answer, quick answer. There's also the website. You can go to this website. But there's a big pile of other things that I was not prepared for, that people really need to know, especially if they don't have military experience coming into the Legion, or even if they do have military experience and they're coming in with certain expectations, let's say, which may or may not be true. It's almost worse if you if you come into the Legion and you have military experience and you expect things to be the way they were in like the Marines, U.S. Marines, or something like that. And sometimes it's harder for those guys. And sadly, in my experience, sometimes they're the first to die, because I'm not sure yet exactly, but I feel like in the people I was with, the 60, 70, 80, God, almost 90 people that I met in my time so far in the Legion, I know 6 that have died. And many of them, some of them it was just their first mission, and it hit a mine, and things happen. Other people, some of the people, about half of them, were absolutely the people who I regarded, I think we all thought, were the best. The people who had the most training, who were the healthiest, and Caden, all right. Yeah, I'm surprised you guys joined my stream. Thanks, guys. It means a lot. Go shoot some deer. Go shoot some deer for me. I want to see you eating a deer steak. Yeah. Well, that sounds like a good place to end our stream today. Thank you for making it successful, and like I say, watch out on my webpage for this secondhand clothing, so people can donate. Even $1 will make a difference. That's the thing. You don't have to donate $50 or $100 or $1,000. $1, So I'm going to put that on my Shopify, hopefully this weekend. Okay. Thanks, everybody. All right. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for making this happen. You guys were great. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. As we say, the way we say "see you later" in Ukrainian is "do pobачення." So see you later. Do pobачення.